Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Mel W37 and I am here bringing you another tutorial for Lightworks. If you guys don't know what that is, it's an editing software that is free if you get their basic free version, because there is a paid version. It's Lightworks Pro, but I'm going to be showing you a tutorial on how to use Lightworks, the free version. So here they released the latest version, 14.0.0. It was released in April of this year. As in my previous tutorial, I showed you how to edit some things. I'm going to actually address some of the questions that I received on that video. I'm going to address them in this video. One of those questions was, how do I get this fancy toolbar at the bottom here? Alright, how do I get this fancy toolbar at the bottom here? I don't know if you could see this. It has a play button, it has a fast forward, rewind, it does it per frame. In, out, clear, replace, insert, remove, and delete at the bottom. This little cool toolbar that really helps you out when you need to be editing. You go over here to Editor Preferences on the left hand side and you click that, and it's under User Interface Playback Controls. It's global playback controls basically, because if you do none then it disappears. Put global and you get this cool little toolbar to help you out. Alright, that's the first thing I wanted to address because I've been getting a lot of questions. On the latest version you should have that option and you should be able to bring up the toolbar. Alright, now we're going to edit a video. We're going to import clips or sequences from files. So it takes me to places automatically. I want to go to videos for myself. I mean, you might have your files in a different place, and I go to raw files or raw videos. I've been working on a series called The Last Kingdom, and this is part 3. We've been touring this really awesome map in Minecraft Pocket Edition. I'm going to show you how to edit using one of my videos that I post that need to be edited. So what I'm going to do is take these two videos, one of them's A and one of them's B because I have two separate videos. I'm going to take A, I'm going to double click on that and it will import the media. Sometimes this takes a minute. Then I'm going to import 3B. And sometimes the imports fail. Just start over again. Sometimes it actually it bugs out and then it closes. Just go ahead and start it up again and try to import it again. Usually it'll work the second time around. If it doesn't, it could be a corrupted file or it could be the wrong file type. It has to be 30 FPS, 60 FPS. It has to be in that format. And it can't be 1080 unless you're using the Pro. It has to be 720. But the frame rate's really important. Without that being correct, you're not going to get it to show up. It's going to be basically on this menu. It's going to be dark. Let's see if I can show you one. Here we go. Here we go. Here's some examples. See this video? I can't use it. It's grayed out. This one is not in the correct format. So it's going to be grayed out, and when you try to upload it, it says failure. That means it's no good. So you can't upload those, unfortunately. So make sure you got the right format. If you want to do other formats, you could buy the Pro, and you could do other formats. And then you can upload, or you can render in 1080 if you get the Pro version. Otherwise it's 720. So I've got these two videos. I can click out of that. I've got these two videos ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the create a new sequence, which is basically the editing window. Click on that. See, this brings up the editing window. It's empty right now. It shows it up here as a sequence. What you're going to do is you're going to take the video you want and you're going to drag and drop it into this empty window. Boom! There's the video. Okay. Now what I like to do is I don't like to have all this blank space, so I'll put in at the end of this, and I'll use this little thing right here to take me to this end, and then I'll hit delete, which gets rid of that spot unless you want to use it for something else. Alright, so now I've got this video in here. You can see it. This is all the video here, and it tells you how long it is. It was 12 minutes basically. Got a gnat flying around my head. I had to kill it, sorry. Alright, and what you're going to want to do at the beginning is I like to put in an intro. Okay. Otherwise it's kind of like this, because I can't check it with this one. So I got to delete that too. I want to cut things out, you know, at the beginning because we're getting ready to start recording. So I'm going to cut this part out first. Hopefully it works because I can't. And I'm going to start wherever I start. Okay. And that's where she sees the iron golem. Down there. All right, are we ready?
Uh-huh.
All right. And so what I need to do is, that's about where I'm going to cut. So I'll go and I'll take this red, it's like an thing here, and I move it. All right. And I move it to where I want it to begin. And so all of this behind this red is going to be cut because I put the blue marker at the beginning, and the red is going to go where I want it to stop. Hi everybody, this is so right about here. And you can use these little guys to go frame by frame. You can see that. And then you hit, if you hit remove, it just takes away and leaves the space. It just takes away the video and the audio and leaves the space. Now you could do undo at the corner here, this little arrow on the right hand side. And when I want to remove something and bring the whole video up to the beginning, I do delete, and it just got rid of that, cut it out, and moved everything this direction towards the left. So now when I start, hi everybody, this is, it'll be right at the beginning. So now I want to add my intro. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to import clips, and my intro should be, I think, in here. Yep. So I have all these intros that I use, and I don't remember which one I've been using this one. So I import it, and then I click on it twice, left click on it twice, and this should be, and you'll see I still have my editing video up. I just double clicked on the little window and it brought up my intro, so then I can play it. Okay, so that's my intro. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here at the beginning where this red marker is. So you have to click on this and have this box highlighted, this blue box, which is the extra clip basically, because this is the editing clip, this is the extra clip that I just opened up, and you just hit insert, and you can put it where you want it. So, you know, if you want the intro to, if you want the clip just to be taken from here to here, you could start it there. But I want it from the beginning, so this little indicator needs to be here at the beginning. And then I put insert. There you have it. And it might have just inserted this clip the other way too, but I like to have this window highlighted just to make sure I know what I'm inserting. Then you can click out of it and go back here, and okay, it's not doing that. There we go. And see. Okay, so my intros are always super loud. What you gotta do now, because it's different, Lightworks changed a few things. You gotta go to the beginning here of this, the beginning of the video, and then this line right here is a cut, basically. It's where one clip meets the other. So if you go to this clip, which is just this one, this huge one right here, you could change the sound by clicking Advanced, and this right here is the gain, and this is the track sound. So this is how I've been doing it. I don't really know if it's correct. I'm gonna go to the beginning because I want my clip for my intro to be more quiet. It's just really loud. It's always like that. Okay, so what I figured out was that even though this says track sound level, if you want to control the volume, you got to go to the gain, okay? And then you scroll down and you could see the little lines for the audio that go across. You could see them going down, which means it's being lowered. So I'm going to lower the sound, and you could see the lines going down too of the audio. So let's see, I'm going to make it about here. A little better. Alright, so that's how you do the sound. Pretty simple. Just go to the beginning of the clip and use the clip gain. Click on the clip gain. Make sure your little like text highlighter, or the text indicators in there, and you just scroll. It's fairly easy. And there you go. And you could do the same with the rest of the clip. All you gotta do is go to the beginning of this clip, which is here at the cut, and you could do the same. You could scroll it down, and the whole thing will go up and down. You see that? So that's how you change the sound. They made it different in the most updated version of Lightworks. I don't know why. Just takes me a little while. You know, I'm older, so I don't learn as fast, I guess. I don't know. So that's the volume, okay? And if you want to add certain effects, and you could click out of this advanced audio and go to effects. So maybe I want to add an effect at the beginning of the video, because so far the cut looks like this. Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Mel. Pretty abrupt, right? So we want to add an effect, and we're going to add, we need to go to the different effects and see all these. These are cool. Like, you could do different texts and stuff. And if you want to make text on your screen, you have to use titles, and you can roll your title or make it crawl across the screen. It's pretty cool, but we need to go to the different categories. So here are the different categories right here. So now they've made this effects different. Before you used to just scroll right here with the effects on the right hand side, but now it brings it up like this. Okay? So in order to get out of this one, which is components, we have to go to this right here. Favorites, color, DVE, key, matte, mix, plugin, stylized, text, audio. Favorites, I guess, are just color correction, like if you need to fix the color. Titles, if you want to put a title on your screen, like I said, if you want any kind of words on your screen, use the title. Blend, mask blends. So these are just the ones I've used recently, and the ones that are my favorites, okay? Color, changes the color. I would play around with these. Just play around with them. You could do black and white. You can change the gradients. There's so much stuff you can do. Looks like they might have added a little bit more too. DVE is how big or small and the size of your video, and you can flip them and flop them. You could crop them. You could angle them left, right, bottom, center. So basically it's the position of your video. If you need to, you can, I believe you can add a video on top of a video. So you could have a video playing, and then you can add a video on top of that also. And you can position it where you want it, which is really cool. And that's what the DVE settings are for. Key is chroma key. So if you want a green screen, I know how chroma key works. I'm not familiar with luma key, color mask, and all that stuff, but you could play around like a green screen, blue screen presets. Pretty cool. Matte, if you want to put color bars in, those are fun for like if, you know, at the end, if you want to put it at the end of your video or something. So there's just different colors. You could even like use an image to put on your screen. So you could probably put like a watermark or something, like if you used an image. Let's see, there's mix, so blend, and these are for transitions, which they're really cool. You could blend for a transition. There's a mask blend, there's a wipe where it wipes the screen, there's a dissolve, a push where it pushes the screen over and pulls another one in, a squeeze, a wipe. It's all the same. It's to transition, you know, a scene or whatever you want to transition. I like to use the blend. There's also plugins that I haven't messed with this, but you can play around with that, so I'm not very familiar with that. Stylize. So this comes in handy if you have somebody wearing something in your video that they you know, that you need to blur out. Maybe a logo. Maybe somebody's, you know, doing something they shouldn't. You need to blur it out. So this is obscure blur. You could blur certain things out and you can position it where you want. Mosaic is like, it looks like tiles, I guess, or it's pixelated. And the rest I'm not too familiar with, but you could play around with those too. See, and then we've got text, which is titles, like I said. You could create a center box. There's all different ways to create text. Play around with that. It's fun. You can put text on your screen. And then there's audio. There's a crossfade. There's an equalizer. So mess around with that stuff. Right now, I'm going to use mix because we need to blend the transition from the intro to the beginning of the game. So this is what I'm going to do. Before I use the effect, I'm going to mark out where I want it to start. So I'm going to back up a bit, and you could go, like I said, with these two arrows, you can go frame by frame. Once it starts to get a little dark, I'm going to do in and make my out right about, so make where the blend ends right about here. And then I'll go effects. I will go to mix and blend and double click on that and see if it works out. So let's test it. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, you know. Hi everybody, this is Mrs.
That one was a
really fast one, but it worked. And you can make them longer to get more of an effect of the blend. So if you want to tweak your effect, in order to get it to come back up, you basically have to hit this little arrow with the wall, which means it stops at cuts or effects, basically is what it does. So like if I did it this way, it'd go to the end because that's the cut, the end of the cut, or the end of the video. And then it goes to this cut. So anyway, you need to go to your effect, hit effects, you need to go to settings, and then it'll pop up when you land on it with this marker, this red marker. It does pop up. See that? And then you could change things, you know. Like I can make it so it ends, you know, not as bright. I could do that and see what happens.
Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Mel W.
And see, you see that? You could see it delayed a little bit. That's interesting to me. I find these things interesting. So I'm going to make it go a little brighter so you can't notice it as much. Let's see.
Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Mel W.
Yeah. That's funny. I'm going to leave it like that just for kicks. But yeah, that's how you bring it back up if you've laid down an effect and it's like you already clicked out of it. That's how you get back settings, and then you got to go put this red marker on the effect. And it takes you back. Pretty cool. Right, to add music, first of all, you're going to need to create another audio track. So you go to these little gears here, there's settings menu, and you click, you point to tracks and then do audio. And it makes an audio track for you right here that's open. So then you need to get your music by importing clips. I go to my music on, we're gonna do Monster Cat music. And let's see here, what should we use for this video? Alright, let's use this one. Now, we're gonna want to double click like I did to open up this window. This is the track in this window. I know it's not a video, but it's just sound. That's why it says sound in the middle. And with this one open and highlighted like this, it has to be highlighted blue. See, if you're not clicked on it, it will be this color. When you click on it, it turns this bright blue. Then you're gonna need to, I call it closing the tracks, but basically you're turning off the tracks. You turn off the effects track, and all the video tracks, and then these two audio tracks, because you don't want the audio to go into your already laid audio tracks. You want it to go into this separate track right here, which is called A1. Click on this again to highlight it, and then I'm going to put this red marker. We need it not at the beginning, because at the beginning I have my intro and it already has audio. So what I'm gonna have to do now is click back on all these tracks, because I want to find where my intro is and use this, which takes you to the cuts, and I want it to be past my intro. So this little clip right here is my intro, and this is past my intro. So now I'm going to turn off all the clips except for audio 1, and I'm going to click on this, highlight it, and then I'm going to insert it. Boom, it laid an audio track right here. You can see it. Now I want to lay more because I want it to be the length of the video. So what I'll just keep doing is hitting insert, and basically it'll just play the same track over and over again. Once I get it past the end of my video, I can click out of it. I can turn back on my tracks, all of them. Make sure you turn all of them back on. And I want to use this button that takes you to the cut to get to the end of my video. I'm going to do N to mark with the blue marker where I want the cut to be started. And I'm going to use this little button right here that takes you to the cuts to go all the way to the end of this video to get rid of all this empty space and the music that I don't need at the end. Then you hit delete. And then it makes it perfectly cut at the end of your video with music. Well, the music's really loud if you haven't noticed. So what you're gonna do is you need to go to every beginning part of the clip of music. And when you do that, you need to take down all this so that A1 is just highlighted. Basically, you just click to turn them on and off. Okay? Go to the beginning, go to advanced, because we're going to have to turn that sound down. It is way too loud. And just start bringing it way down like we did before with the audio. I bring mine all the way down to about there. You can see that line going across. Then I'm going to go to the next cut, beginning of the cut, or beginning of this track, I should say. Because they're in segments, because I laid the song over and over again. You could see where the cuts are. So at every beginning part of the cut, I need to turn it down. I don't know if this is the correct way, but all I know is this is how I figured out how to do it. It was different before, and now this is how you have to do it. So I match them all up, except for this one's not really matched up. And let me fix that. Boom, now it's matched. Go to the next cut. Make sure they're all the same number. Basically, you can see it's negative 28.9. Go to the next one. Use your scroll all the way down so that you're at the same level. You don't want it to like change levels every time it starts the song over again. So make sure you're at the same level. Yeah, it's a pain. If there's a better way to do it and somebody knows about it, let me know in the comments. This is how I figured out how to do it. And now your audio should be quite low, so that way you could still hear yourself talking. So let's see.
Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Mel W37 and I am here with MC Granny.
And you can hear it in the background.
We are playing on the map called The Last Kingdom by Shrimp 1970. And we had 2 other videos,
I really like this song.
part 1 and part 2, because it's that big. And we
So when the music gets louder, I'm going to see if
had
it's...
just looked at all this stuff over here in the last video, and now we're going to continue on.
I think I'm going to make it a little bit lower. So if you guys have any other questions, I'm sure I'll make a part 2 of this video. Maybe go more in depth on how to add a video on top of a video or anything like that. If you guys can make suggestions in the comments and I can make a video on it. I can show you how to import it when you're done. You take this export sequences and you drag it to the picture or the window, the editing window, and you click on that, and then you could set your settings. I would do 720p. I just happen to do 29.97 FPS, which will work. You can use that, or you could use... Those are the only 2 options it gives you, which is basically 60 FPS or 30 FPS. And then what you're going to do is you're going to name your folder, and you're going to set a destination for where you want it to go. Name it, then hit start. Make sure it's on 720p and either 30 FPS or 60 FPS. If you recorded your video in 30 FPS, I recommend exporting it and rendering it in 30 FPS, or 29.97 is what it's going to give you. If you've recorded your video in 60 FPS, I suggest using the 59.94 FPS. So there you go, and that should be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, leave any comments if you would like me to make another video on how to do certain things in Lightworks. You can just comment below and just let me know what you would like me to show you guys how to do in the video. And thank you so much for watching. I hope this really helped you out, and enjoy. Happy editing.